Good afternoon. My name is Barry Hulse, and welcome to the first quarterly broadcast of South Dakota Travel 2023. This travel series is developed by PowerPoint and distributed by YouTube. The travel series consists of 3 individual podcasts: North Dakota Travel, South Dakota Travel, and Dakota Fitness Travel. Dakota Fitness Travel will focus on the core muscles of the pelvis, lower back, hips, and stomach. In 1861, this area was known as the Dakota Territory, and 28 years later, in 1889, this territory would be divided into North Dakota and South Dakota. The capitals would become Bismarck, North Dakota, and Pierre, South Dakota. In alphabetical order, North Dakota became the 29th state, and South Dakota became the 40th state of the United States. The flags on the right, North Dakota on the top, and South Dakota on the bottom. This podcast is dedicated to my grandmother, Effie, and she was born in Spencer, South Dakota in 1892. The South Dakota Department of Tourism has created 4 distinct regions of the state, with specific geological features noted. West, representing the Black Hills and Badlands region, the central part of the state, the Missouri River region, the northeastern part of the state, Glacial Lakes region, and the southeastern part of the state. I have labeled it or given its geological features as the Pink Sioux Quartzite and Loess Hills region. I prefer to provide a geological reference to each region, and that is why I included the geological features of Pink Granite Quartzite and Loess Hills for the southeast region of the state, since this tourism state has not provided that. South Dakota has over 75,000 Native people living in South Dakota. The 9 tribal reservations of Asita-Sakowin 7 council fires. Noted in this map, you can see that the Standing Rock Indian Reservation, which is located in the north central part of the state, that is home to the Lakota and Dakota Native people. The Cheyenne River Agency is located just below that, just above Pierre, South Dakota, and that is the home to the Lakota Native people. Pine Ridge Agency is located in the southwestern part of the state, known for the home of the Oglala Lakota Native people. And then just east of there is the Rosebud Agency, and that is home to the Lakota Native people. Lower Brule Agency, Crow Creek Agency, and Yankton Agency are all home to the Nakota Native people. The Sisseton Agency up in the northeast corner of the state is home to the Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota Native people. Flandreau Santee Sioux Agency, located just north of Sioux Falls, is home to the Dakota Native people. The Native people are taking back their voices and their true names. Sioux is a derogatory term, name meaning snake. Sioux is being replaced with Asita-Sakowin or Siouan. Their enemies called them the Sioux snake people. Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota are the 3 dialects or languages spoken and can also be used to reference the Native people. Down in the southeastern part of the state, which is being covered in this particular podcast, is the homestead and nature preserve The Adams Homestead and Nature Preserve down at Dakota, home of the Dakota Valley Panthers, and is located in North Sioux City. This preserve has about 1,500 acres of land and is bordered on the southwestern edge by the Missouri River. Donated by the Adams sisters, they had a strong desire to inspire fitness, well-being, and family. They envisioned the area as a place where families could come and enjoy the land and learn more about the natural world surrounding them. Mary and Maud wanted to give others a place for inner renewal. Another park located just across the Big Sioux River over in Iowa is Stone Park, and this is located directly east of I-29 from the Adams Homestead Nature Preserve along Highway 12 and east of the Big Sioux River. Stone Park is nestled in the northwest section of the Loess Hills of Iowa. Two more parks just north of North Sioux City is Union Grove State Park and Newton Hill State Park, are both designated for horseback riding. Union Grove has 25 campsites with 4 horse riding campsites. Newton Hills has 108 campsites with electrical hookups and 10 campsites without electrical hookups. Lake Lakota provides a beach area for swimming, kayaking, canoeing, and fishing. Now, if we go a little bit west, just north of Vermillion, South Dakota, we have Spirit Mound. This is a small rise on the prairie and has a trail to the top about 1.3 miles. The trail is listed as a National Historic Trail. A small walking bridge crosses Spirit Mound Creek, which has water running most of the summer. Spirit Mound has the highest elevation is 1,280 feet, which is just a rise of 60 feet from the natural prairie. Clay County Park, which is located just west of Vermillion, provides a campground with hiking trails, boat dock for entrance to the Missouri River. "35 miles west of Vermillion, you'll find Gavin's Point Dam, and this dam spans 1.9 miles across the Missouri River Valley, which is a rolled earth and chalk-filled dam. This dam is a hydroelectric power dam and produces enough power to power 68,000 homes, or 137 megawatts. Lewis and Clark State Park, above the dam, has over 400 campsites and numerous cabins for rent. Below the dam is Lake Yankton with 3 campgrounds and over 75 campsites. In the pictures that you see here, on the left is Gavin's Point Dam, and then behind it is Lewis and Clark Lake and Lewis and Clark State Park. Below the dam is on the right, and that is Lake Yankton below the dam. And that is a shallow lake, and it's great for boats without motors, kayaks, canoes, rafts. It's a really nice recreational area there. Pictured here on the left is a hiking trail that is the Sioux Falls Hiking Trail. And the picture on the left is the Arc of Dreams, downtown Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls has over 30 miles of recreational trails connecting some 80 parks throughout the city. Most trails are paved and provide easy access for bikes, wheelchairs, and strollers. The Big Sioux River meanders through the city, and the trails provide easy access for kayakers getting in and out of the water. The picture on the right is the Visitor Center Museum and Theater at Good Earth State Park, which is located southeast of Sioux Falls on the Big Sioux River. Blood Run Archaeological Site is a part of that state park and provides hiking trails along the Big Sioux River as well. This area has been inhabited for the past 8,500 years by descendants of the Omaha and Ponca tribes. The Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum Historic Site near Brandon has 115 acres of park with quarries featuring the geological stone formations of pink Sioux Quartzite, for which the area is known. On the left, you will see a picture of the Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum, and on the right, you will see a picture of the Butterfly House and Aquarium, which is located at Saratoga Park. The Butterfly House and Aquarium, seen here on the right, provides an up-close and personal experience for families. This experience is found at the Saratoga Park in south central part of the city, north of 229 and east of Louise Avenue. Ole Ovark Edvard Rolvig, wrote a number of books regarding European immigrant life on the American plains in the 1800s. There are a number of books by Ole, and I'll list a few of them. The Third Life of Persmedic, On Forgotten Paths, Pure Gold, The Boat of Longing, Giants of the Earth. I've only read one of the books. Giants of the Earth is one that I read, and it's quite a lengthy book, but well worth the read. Peter Victorius, Their Father's God. The ranch of Ole's uncle is located 10 miles east of Vermillion, north of Highway 50, a place Ole worked as a young man. There's also a historical marker located just off of Highway 50, and it's at a corner just before you turn and go south to the town of Elk Point. You would go north to the ranch where Ole lived. So we look at places of interest in Sioux Falls, and one is a place that I like personally, and that's referred to as Terrace Park, and also the Veterans Memorial Park, which are neighboring parks, and they share the Covell Lake, which provides a beautiful habitat for geese and assortment of other birds. Terrace Park is home to the Japanese Garden, located on the lake's eastern shore, and is registered as a historic landmark for Sioux Falls. In 1889, attorney Thomas McMartin and his wife, Jenny, had this home pictured on the left, built for them, for their family, at the corner of 8th Street and North Duluth Avenue. Constructed in the Queen Anne style, the house is a red brick and Sioux Quartzite building with 2.5 stories. The home was sold 22 years later, and it was sold to Richard Pettigrew, who happened to be the United States Senator in 1911. The home became a museum after the death of Pettigrew and remained a museum for the past 93 years. Just down the street is St. Joseph's Cathedral, was completed in 1919 and has been the seat for the Roman Catholic Diocese in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for the past 104 years. The church is located on Duluth Avenue as well, and is also part of the historic district of Sioux Falls. Just north of Sioux Falls, 11 miles, you will find Palisades State Park. This is one of my favorite state parks in the eastern part of the state. It has 50-foot cliffs of pink Sioux Quartzite along the river known as Split Rock Creek, which flows through the valley. This park is on the southern edge of Garrison. This park features the other picture, which is the picture on the right. This is Falls Park, and it is located just north of downtown Sioux Falls off of Phillips Avenue. This park features a viewing tower, gift shop, visitor center, and the popular Falls Overlook Cafe. North of the falls, you will find the outdoor covered seasonal farmers market arena. On the left, you see the Washington Pavilion, which is home to the Husby Performing Arts Center, the Kirby Science Discovery Center for Children, the Wells Fargo Cinedome, and the Visual Arts Center. The Washington Pavilion also offers quality educational events and programs through the Educational Department and the Graham Academy Preschool, with dining available at Leonardo's Cafe. On the right is a picture of the Arc of Dreams in downtown Sioux Falls, representing the leap of faith dreamers take to see their dreams come true. I couldn't talk about South Dakota or have this podcast if I didn't mention the world's only corn palace, located in Mitchell, South Dakota. And why I'm mentioning it in this podcast is because they have made their selection for this year's themes for the murals that are on the outside of the building. And the theme for this year is Famous People of South Dakota. So when you go visit the Corn Palace in South Dakota, don't forget to look at the murals on the outside of the building. When it is the season for skiing, let's talk Terry Peak Ski Area in the Black Hills. The summit of Terra Peak stands about 7,100 feet tall, offers the highest lift service between the Rockies and the Alps. With over 30 ski trails and numerous lifts, Terry Peak Ski Area near Leeds, South Dakota has a ski experience that is as unique as it is exciting. Tunkasila-Sakpa and the surrounding Black Hills, known as the Pahasapas in the Lakota language, are considered sacred by the native people of South Dakota, of South America, Central America, and North America, who have made pilgrimage to this area for thousands of years as a place to pray, gather food, building materials, and medicine. The Pahasapa is the place for trade, ceremony, and healing. The Lakota called this mountain Six Grandfathers, or Tunkasila-Sakpa, which represented the six sacred directions: north, south, east, and west. Above, representing sky, and below, earth. Tunkasila-Sakpa, or Tunkasila-Sakpa, is as important to the native people of the Americas as the Wailing Wall of Jerusalem is to the Jewish, Christian, and Islam people of today. The tallest mountains west of the Alps and east of the Rockies, these mountains were known for their clean waters, great fishing, and abundant wildlife. The hot springs and mineral wells located in central and western South Dakota were known for their healing abilities and sacred importance. The oldest tribal remains so far were found in northwest South Dakota in Harding County and date back 12,000 years ago. The Browns Valley Man was found near Sisseton at Travers Lake, and he dates back 9,000 years ago. Here's a picture of Mount Rushmore National Memorial sculpture. This was started in 1927 and completed in 1941 under the direction of Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln. This granite sculpture is roughly 60 feet high and depicts 4 U.S. presidents. The highest mountains, the mountain's highest elevation is 5,725 feet. Now, just to give a reference to something else, Terry Peak, the ski resort, has an elevation of 7,064 feet. And Black Elk Peak, being the tallest point of the Black Hills, has a highest elevation of 7,242 feet. I like to refer to the mountain as Tunkasilasakpa and the sculpture as Mount Rushmore. George Washington was the first president of the United States, and he was president from 1789 to 1797. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States, and he was president from 1801 to 1809. Theodore Roosevelt was the 26th president, and he was president from 1901 to 1909. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president, and he was president from 1861 to 1865. The building of Mount Rushmore took place during the presidents of Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The South Dakota Capitol building was started in 1905 and completed in 1910. The design was to resemble the Capitol building in Montana, which is referred to as the Greek neoclassical architectural style. Thank you for listening to the South Dakota Travel Quarterly Podcast of 2023. I'm Barry Hulse, and I'm pleased to share with you my knowledge and interest in Dakota travel, South Dakota travel, and fitness travel in my 3 podcast series on YouTube. Until next time, safe travels.